2 months ago, I moved out from my house and my life changed completely. I was so lost and I didn't know what to do, what's going on with my life. And right, I know that the life, the timeline that I'm in right now, it's the prayer that it's one of the prayer that has been answered is the thing that I've been asking for from God and from universe or whatever you call it, right? That's the timeline I wanted to. But then I was so lost by the fact that everything shifted, and the shift in the environment makes you a total new human being, right? You literally either get consumed by the things that is going on in your environment, and then you just get lost in that thing, right? In my phase of life where I shifted my life from being at home to a different new environment, and then that thing was so hampering me as a human being that I was literally lost of me from being an ambitious girl to being a girl who don't know what to do with her life anymore. And I was so annoyed, and I was so angry by the fact that how can I become in such a way, like I am not such person. I am very curious and I'm very ambitious person, and I don't know, right? So I will tell you the two things that literally you know why you get lost in your life, right? So the first thing I would like to say is your environment. Like I said before, wherever you go, whatever you do, your environment matters a lot. It affects a lot in your life, right? It just hampers whatever you do, everything that you do. If you stay in an environment where there is only poverty, and where there is very like a lack of like a lot of like victim mentality and things like that, then it will hamper you, and you will consume such things, and you will become that person who don't really have that good mentality, like, okay, I am the luckiest girl. No, it depends. If you stay in an environment where you see a lot of people are just being positive and achieving whatever they always wanted to be, then you also will get consumed to the environment, and you will leave. You consume that environment, you started behaving in sense that way, right? So since I shifted, but then I was not specific about what I wanted when I was praying for it, when I was asking for it. I just wanted to shift and move out from my house. I moved out, but I was not specific about what kind of things I want, what kind of environment, what kind of people I wanted to surround myself with. I was not specific. So now I was surrounded by. So I was in a place where I was literally being compared all the time. There's a lot of like competitions, and then a lot of comparisons, and a lot of putting yourself down and things like that. You literally lose your confidence when you are put in an environment. I'm sorry, please avoid the noise in the background. So if you are in an environment where you're always point out for your mistakes, pointing out your mistake in a very nice and assertive way is a very good thing. You can learn it, but then in a professional way, it's just hampering yourself a lot, right? If you're in an environment where there's a lot of competition and comparisons and a lot, it's very bad. I'll tell you, I always know that I don't want to compare myself with, neither do I want people to compare themselves with other people, because there's simply no point. Nobody's gonna be you, and I don't want to be others, and you cannot be me, right? Nobody's gonna be the same, right? But then there's a lot of competition, which is competition to a certain level is very good, but then if it's more than the level that it should be, it just gets so hazardous for you and your health or your mental health, right? So there was a lot of competition, and then there's a lot of comparison. I know the fact that I don't like comparing myself, neither do I want people to compare themselves with others, because you cannot be me and I cannot be you, right? We're all unique, and we're all our own brands. We're the brand, right? So but you being in the environment, and in that environment that's literally normalized by the fact that you compare yourself, and you are always competitive on smallest and stupidest thing, okay? Then you you just you're destroying your mental health. And I was in that environment. I don't want to compare, and I didn't compare myself, but then unknowingly I realized that I was comparing myself with people. I was having competition. Is stupidest thing that I should never do that. Even my 10-year-old self would laugh at me for me comparing myself with those things, and me competing with that tiniest and stupidest things. My 10-year-old must be laughing about it, right? So your environment really important, really matters on how you want your life and how you want your goals to look like, right? So guys, be specific of whatever you're wishing for, because it's really really important. Your environment can affect a lot in your life, and as in shaping as who in shaping who you are as a person, right? The second point is losing connection with yourself. To be very honest and frank, into this world where there's hustle culture and there's a lot of hustle and bustle that is going on in our lives, right? And then if specifically if you're in a corporate job, you literally don't have time for yourself, because you have to go do the 9 to 5. Or if you're in an aviation sector, first people those who are in aviation sector, maybe you are very well aware about it, that you work a lot, you give a lot of time, but at the end you end up not having a lot of time because of the time schedule that you have in the roster that you are being provided with, right? So you you don't have a lot of time. And for all the people who work in corporates, and for every people who don't have time for yourself, right? So you just even if you have time, sometimes you prefer to sleep, or you just prefer to rest rather than doing something for yourself, because um, sometimes you just get tired, or sometimes you don't have the energy to do such things, right? And that, and because of such thing, you're not now that you're not doing any of that thing over and over again, you start losing your connection with yourself. Like for me, it used to be meditation, working out, and just reading books. That's how I used to connect with myself. And then just doing affirmation in the mirror. That's how I really connect with myself, and how I love myself in that way, right? But since I didn't have time to do so, and whenever I have, I come back home, I used to get tired and just go to bed and just sleep. And even I stopped being spiritual. I love to be spiritual. I love to pray to God. I love to make du'as and everything. But I stopped doing such things, which really, really was important to me, and which really makes me a different person, and which is really good for my self growth journey, and which is I stopped doing that. And stopping, since me not doing such things, I lost my connection with myself. Sometimes I don't understand, is it me, or is it a person that the professional world is trying to tell me to be who I should be? I really get confused, and I lost in touch with myself. I have a very strong intuition, with intuition connection with myself, but I even lost that. And I am so annoyed. I am so I feel always anxious with myself now. Before something happens, I connect with my intuition, and then everything is really fine. But then now that I stop doing such things, I literally feel like I lose myself. So I would really, really suggest you that no matter how hard your time is, please take out 2 to maximum 1 minute, just minimum 1 minute. Take it out and do the things that connects you with yourself, right? So what I do is, like, since I don't have that much of time to connect with myself, what I can do is I literally when I used to get dressing when I get dressed up, I would say to myself, like, you're the most gorgeous girl, you're the luckiest girl in the world, and you're beautiful, you're amazing, you're brilliant, you're intelligent. I used to say that and connect with myself. That's how I utilize my time, since I don't have time to do sit properly and do such things. I do that. So please make sure that you do the things that makes you in touch with yourself, right? And here's the thing, you don't have to be aware of all the things. You do not have to know what's going on in your life. You don't have to know anything what's going to come in the future, because we as a human being, we don't have that power or the ability to know what will happen in the future. We're simply, the only power that we hold right now is the present moment. So all we can do is shift our mindset, connect with ourselves, our intuitions, and most importantly, guys, most importantly, this is why am I emphasizing on this, is because it's really important. Most importantly, you are supposed please connect with God. It's the most important thing in this entire world. God is the ultimate power he's the ultimate provider, he's the ultimate power. So please get in touch with your own God. And whoever, whatever you believe in, maybe it's a better version, higher self, or maybe it's the universe, whatever you think it is, please get connected with it. I swear to God, um, being spiritually rich can change you as a person, can change your view, your opinion, and then how you view the world. As it can change you in a drastic way, right? So please get in touch with God, make a lot of prayer, because like I said, he's your own ultimate provider. He can provide you with anything that you ask for. It's just a matter of you asking to God. Because if you don't ask, you do not expect God to look after you. You need to ask, you need to connect with him, you need to pray, you need to pray and let him know that I want this, I want that. And you need to be very grateful of the things that you have right now, literally get what you want in future as well. Be grateful for everything that you have. Connect with God. And you also, please, get in touch with your goals that you were once separated, or get in touch with your goals, which you got farther away, or you separated it from. So connect with your goals, write it down every day, journal it about it, and everything you've not been doing, that you've been avoiding, to get in touch with yourself, to be the better version of yourself, and and the life that you always wanted to be, everything. Please get in touch with all those things. And yes, it's very hard to get in touch at once, but then how about just 5 minutes a day to get in touch with whatever you wish for. um, that's a minimum you can do, because I know you don't have time, neither do I have time, right? So please get in touch with everything that you've been avoiding, or you've been not able to do it. Try to get in touch at least 1 minute or 5 minutes a day. I think we all have that 5 minutes to